Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are specifically going to talk about Andrew Yang, and Andrew Yang taking on three ghost mentors from the community of comedians. What? So let me explain. So basically, I'm very fortunate. I've had two mentors in my life, and they were present mentors, right? So basically, I've had two mentors. And what I'm specifically saying is that Andrew Yang should take three ghost mentors. Now, these are mentors who do not sit down with you, are not present with you, but you study their body of work, and then you take away wisdom from a perspective of learning from them, okay? And then you use that wisdom, those techniques, those strategies, tactics, those kind of things, right? And I think it's really important that Andrew Yang take these three ghost mentors from the comedian community, and of course I'll tell you which comedians they should be, and then begin to really process his continued political activity by leveraging lessons learned from these three specific comedians. Now, why am I saying this? So one, I've really recently realized that there is an incredible amount of overlap between what modern comedians are doing and what politicians are doing. They really, in many ways, are doing exactly the same job, okay? So basically, modern comedians, what they do is they stand up in front of a whole bunch of people and they use a microphone and they use their intellect and their words to persuade people. What are they persuading them to do? Only one thing. They're actually persuading them to do two things. They persuade them to laugh, right? Or they persuade them to change their mood, right? Very, very deep, right? And the reality is modern comedy has reached, I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but technology has really amped up our ability to do every single thing humans do much, 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 much better than we previously did. The only exception are political, cultural, and social activities. We're just as bad as we ever were, if not worse, on politics, culture, and society. But when it comes to virtually any activity we choose, we're getting much better at it. And comedy has really been catapulted in this new level of comedy today, where it's incredibly nuanced. And so what are the overlaps between comedy and politics? First and foremost, politician is a filter for smart. Comedian is a filter for smart. A lot of people have not understood this, okay? There are no stupid politicians at the national level. Zero. If you are using the word idiot, buffoon, stupid for any national politician, you got one finger pointing out and three pointing straight back at you. There are no national stupid politicians. None. Zero. Right? There are also no American or internationally successful comedians who are stupid. You can't do both. You can't be a comedian and be stupid. You can't be a politician and be stupid. There's just a ton of people who don't understand this today. The reason why I care about it so deeply is I care about language. And I don't like the word stupid, buffoon. I don't like the word, idiot being... those words have real meanings, and they need to be preserved when they're actually useful. And you cannot apply them to any national level politician. You cannot apply them to any American or internationally successful comedian. It just doesn't match, right? Okay, let's keep it moving. All right, so basically, it's a filter for smart. And that's important because if you're a politician, you darn well better understand you're a smart person, right? And you darn well better understand that every single person that comes at you, that's your contender, that is a candidate running against you, is just as smart, if not smarter. Now, you could defeat a smarter opponent. There's ways to do that. It's a whole different topic. Perhaps I'll pick that up at some point. But everybody involved is smart. Same thing with comedians, right? And it's not a small thing. It's a really big thing, right? The other thing is, how is political speech and how is comedy handled? They're handled in exactly the same way. You write your material, you practice your material, and you hone your material. It is exactly the same task. The only difference is one leads to votes and one leads to laughter or change of mood. Okay, so for politicians, it all leads to votes. For comedians, it all leads to laughter or change of mood. Okay, incredible overlap on these two activities, right? So and basically, there's this really, really important, very basic function of one person, one microphone, one crowd, and that boils down to 3 words: artist, crowd, persuasion. Right? The artist is the politician, the artist is the comedian. The crowd is the same, right? There's no difference between the political crowds and the comedy crowds, right? They're the same crowds, right? And then persuasion is virtually identical. The only thing is the politician is trying to persuade you to vote, right? And continue to vote. And the comedian is trying to get you to laugh or to change your mood, right? That's it. They are the same. It is artist, crowd, persuasion. There is incredible overlap on these three things. So once a politician understands, right, that they're doing exactly the same thing as American and international comedians, then they should really start paying hyper close attention to the very best American and international comedians. There you go, right? So basically, every modern politician should be paying hyper close attention to comedy, right? And the reason why is there are techniques, tactics, strategies that are easily lifted and shifted right over from comedy directly into politics, right? And any politician that is not doing this is leaving votes on the table, right? So now I've given my platform for why Andrew Yang should be paying hyper close attention to comedy, right? So if he's doing that, let's talk about mentorship, okay? So let's talk about what a ghost mentor is and why Andrew Yang should adopt 3 ghost mentors out of the comedian community, okay? All right, so what the heck is a ghost mentor, right? Well, I'll define it by first defining a present mentor. I have had 2 present mentors in my lifetime, okay? And I still have a present mentor, but I've only had 2. Now, I understand what you're thinking when you hear the word mentor. Oh, somebody who gives you a few good ideas. No, that's not right, okay? One, there is a very different, or you're thinking, oh, my boss is my mentor. No, that's wrong as well, okay? So there are mentorship tasks, right? That is teaching somebody how to do something. Many friends will pick up some mentorship tasks for their friends, and they'll give some mentorship advice to their friends. That doesn't mean your friend is your mentor. In fact, I would say right now, your friend is not your mentor, okay? This is very, very, very important to understand, right? And the reason why is friends are equal. Friendship is built on equal trust, equal goodwill, right? Mentor and mentee are not equal, right? Mentors are like, I have made it. I am successful. Shut your mouth and learn, right? Now, a mentee can absolutely talk and ask questions and all this, but it's not a relationship of equals, right? Same thing with your boss and you, right? Often bosses are not mentors. They're bosses, right? Now, that may absolutely contain mentorship tasks, right? But the reality is, at the end of the day, generally your boss is not going to be your mentor. And the reason why is your boss has things that they need to accomplish, right? And anytime they need to, that one of the tasks gets in the way of your mentorship, that boss will rightfully make sure that those tasks are taken care of. So they're going to take care of the organization and the organization's tasks before they take care of your mentorship. So the 2 people that I'm talking about who have been my mentors, one were, they started as friends, but there was a point where the relationship shifted to mentorship, right? Now, often when a relationship will shift to mentorship, it will be when proximity stops friendship. A lot of people think that you can have a long-distance friend. You really can't, right? Like, you have people that you have goodwill with. You have people you used to be friends with. But I am very, very believe in my heart, friendship comes with proximity, right? So if you guys aren't going out for dinner, if you're not going out for lunch, if you can't, if you're not seeing each other once or twice a week, laughing together, sharing experiences, then you have goodwill toward each other. And that's great. You can have long distance with a friend who's now long distance away, and you have a person that you have goodwill with, right? But often what will happen is friendship will transfer into a mentorship, right? So you're no longer friends because you literally don't have the proximity for friendship, right? But then that can transfer into a mentorship, right? If the two people acknowledge that one person knows a whole lot more than the other, right? Then you can start to get together for mentoring meetings where you're saying, listen, I need to progress in this activity. I need to progress in my profession, right? Then if you have a relationship where this person is no longer your friend from a proximity issue, right? You could do these by Skype. You can go out of your way to drive an hour, 2 hours away. Mentorship can be one meeting every 3 months. By the way, that's exactly what my mentorship is today. Me and my mentor drive out of our way. We both come halfway to the distances. And I talk with my mentor about every 3 months. And by the way, mentors are not paid, right? Like, that's a whole different thing, right? So I have a person, and this is the second person that has done this in my life, who realizes that they have progressed so much farther in their career that they have a whole bunch of things to teach me. And this person is willing to come together with me for an hour to 2 hours every 3 months, and that person serves as my mentor. It's not where they're fulfilling some of these mentorship tasks. It is really very, very real. So that is what a mentor is. A ghost mentor is when you choose someone external to you, right? And you're like, hey, I got, hey, now I'm going to choose you as my mentor. I've never met you, but I'm going to study your techniques, your tactics, your strategies, and I am going to specifically, right, follow you as a mentor and learn from you and put myself in a position of, I know less, you know more. I'm going to use what you do and realize you are better than me at all these tasks, right? Who should Andrew Yang do this with? 3 people. Dave Chappelle, best comic that has ever lived on the planet Earth, without a doubt. I don't think he has no peers, right? Dave Chappelle is peerless. He is absolutely flawless, darn near flawless. He's still a human being. As a comedian, he sets the bar for everyone. Okay, all right. What should Andrew Yang take away from Dave Chappelle? Uninterrupted confidence. Dave Chappelle expresses confidence in every possible way. He has uninterrupted confidence. Andrew Yang needs that, right? He is confident, right? But he needs this next level confidence that Dave Chappelle projects. Okay, who's next? Jim Gaffigan, all right? Calculated likability. Jim Gaffigan is an amazing comedian, and he has calculated likability. Okay, who's the third ghost mentor? That should be Hannah Gadsby. Hannah Gadsby, in my opinion, is not really a comedian. She's a person who's so smart that she's selling philosophy as comedy, right? And she brings a philosophy filter. She looks at the whole world through the eyes of the Greek philosophers, right? She sees the world through the filter of philosophy. If Andrew Yang takes all 3 of these ghost mentors, Dave Chappelle for uninterrupted confidence, Jim Gaffigan for calculated likability, and Hannah Gadsby specifically, right? Hannah Gadsby specifically for a philosophy filter, he becomes more unstoppable than he is now. It makes him a better politician. All of that is my opinion. I'd love to hear your opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.